So today we are once again going to start with a blank canvas, and first I'm going to go in with my Bobbi Brown Corrector and just tap that under my eye and come up in that corner. Whoops, just a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. Something that is peachy pink really helps to get rid of any discoloration that is kind of a mixture of purple and blue. If you are very purple under your eyes, you might want to go with something that's a little bit more yellow. And if you're very blue, you want to go with something a little bit more pink, because those are the colors that are opposites of each other on the color wheel, and that just really helps to correct the skin. Now I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow primer from NARS. This is the best one that I have ever found. It works really well for both oily and semi-oily eyelids. With dry eyelids, it's kind of nice because it's super silicone-y, so it really just smooths everything out. So no matter if you have a little bit of a crepey skin or if you're a little bit smoother, something like the NARS primer is going to work really well for you. Okay, now we're not really going heavy on the eyes, we're not really going heavy on the lips. This is going to be an afternoon date, so we're not going to go full smoky and we're not going to go full on lip because I will be eating, and that is something you want to think about when you're trying to figure out your makeup. Is I'm going to go in with my MAC palette. What are you doing? What is the fun that you're going to be having, and you want to take that into consideration when you're choosing your makeup look. So if you know you're going to be eating, just make sure that you don't do a red lip. Like if eating is the main event, because you're just going to be worried about what you're doing or how your lip is looking the whole night, and instead of having a good time. And makeup should be fun, but it should never become like the thing that you're super focused on when you're out and about. So if that happens, then you've gone too far with your makeup, or you've just chosen a lip look when you shouldn't have, kind of thing. Okay, so I just mixed these two colors together, and now I'm going to mix these two together with my 217 just to build up a little bit of smokiness. So a little bit on the outer third of my eye, and then bringing that up into the crease, but I'm really focusing on the outer half and mostly on the outer third of my eye. So again, I'm just combining those two colors. This is like a semi-smoky eye. There is a fly buzzing around, so I beg pardon if it gets in the shot. Oh my goodness. Alright, and I'm just going to go back in with my BK Beauty super fluffy brush and just make sure that's nice and blended. It's nice to go back and forth between the eyes. You don't really want to do one eye and then the other, otherwise you can definitely end up with a little bit of a surprise and a little bit off with your symmetry. So just kind of building that up to make sure that it matches the other eye. And I'm just really lightly applying pressure with my brush I'm not really pressing down at all. So that was mostly with the tip of my brush. Now I'm going to combine the same two colors, and I'm just going to kind of press that right onto that outer third, just to build that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take a clean cloth and I'm just going to brush off any excess that is there, and I'm going to soften that up. Because I realize that not everyone has two 217s, and you can definitely just use a clean cloth and kind of swipe away any excess, or you can always have a little bit of brush cleaner handy on your cleansing cloth that you can quickly clean your brush with. All right, now we're gonna go in, whoops, with another BK Beauty brush, and I'm gonna go in with Ricepaper. It's not super shimmery, but it does have a little bit of a shine, and I'm gonna start right on the center and just gently tapping. And I'm going to bring that all the way to the inner corner and put that just a little bit right there. Okay, so we see quite a difference between where the Ricepaper is and where the smokiness is happening. So again, 217, and I'm just lightly going to blend those worlds together. Now I'm going to go in with my angled brush and my Caviar Ink from Bobbi Brown, and I'm going to do my liner. I did just order some liquid liner, which I haven't had in a very long time, and I'm pretty excited about it. And again, I'm just following my lower lash line to get that initial angle. And when you do that with liquid, it's the same thing. You're just following your lower lash line. So the reason why I have a lunch date is because my husband and I have been married for 13 years. So we got a babysitter, and we are going to a play. I'm really excited. I haven't been to a play since before COVID. Actually, the last play that we went to, I was pregnant with my first kiddo. So it's been a long time. Very excited. And again, I'm just really lightly doing dash marks. You don't want to pull on the skin. It's kind of like a gentle tap and drag. Even when I'm softening the top, it's always very gentle. Okay, so I have kind of like kitty cat wings. So I'm just going to elongate those just a little bit with the very tip of my brush. I think it's always easier to start with a kitten wing and then bring it out if you want to, rather than going full on. Plus I know I'm going to be doing my concealer and my foundation. And I am going to clean that off because I'm going to use that for my brows in just a moment. And now we're going to go in and do our waterline or upper waterline. You can definitely do this first. And we'll go in with our mascara primer from LANCOME. Sometimes I I feel like the more you use a product, the more you start to understand it. And then the more you kind of fall in love with it. And I'm starting to feel that way with this primer. I definitely get into the roots and do the wiggle, jiggle, and pull. Because it is such a great brush that you can really build up that primer on your lashes. Then I'm going to go in with my Smokey Eye Mascara from the lovely Bobbi Brown. I love Bobbi Brown so much as a person. I wrote her a letter many years ago, and she wrote me back. And I thought that was amazing. Me, this like nobody makeup artist, and she's done Rolling Stones and so many famous people. It was really, really sweet of her to write me back. And I'm just making sure I'm coating each lash. And just like with any kind of brush, you can use the entire spoolie or wand of your mascara. Don't be afraid to just use the side. You can use the tip for your lower lashes especially. Okay, we're going to use this double-ended pencil from Charlotte Tilbury, and this has like an olive green end, and it almost matches my eye color. And we're just putting that olive green in our lower waterline. And it kind of smokes out the eye without really closing it down because it is a lighter color. There's gold in here and an olive green, like I said, which really matches my eyes. These come in so many colors, so whatever your eye color, Charlotte Tilbury has something for you. So now we're going to go into concealer. And just really lightly, at Sephora we would call this the triangle of light. I saw an artist talk about the shapes that you put on your face and how you need to be really careful because wherever you put your makeup is where you're going to get the most impact, like we've talked about before. So it's really important if you have a super angular face that maybe you do a softer triangle or almost like a crescent moon shape. Not everybody should do the triangle of light, is basically what I'm trying to say. But if you want to add a little bit more structure to the face, a little bit more of an angular look, then that is a great thing to do. And then I'm just lightly tapping and blending that into my skin. So my skin is doing really well right now, and I'm lucky because it usually is doing really well. But I don't feel like I need a ton of foundation, so I'm just going to try to do a half pump because I feel like anything more would be a little bit too much. Because again, this is an afternoon date. We're going out for lunch, and then we're going to the theater. So as always, tapping it on the back of my hand, using a really fluffy brush, pushing it into the skin, and then just blending out the edges. Could you use a beauty blender? Absolutely. Love a beauty blender. Maybe not so much for this particular foundation, but if you had something like the Lancome Tanti Doll. I feel like the heavier your foundation or the more coverage your foundation, the better a beauty blender works because it just softens that foundation in a really, really beautiful way. And you can see that the concealer and the foundation now on, nothing is distracting away from the eyes. So the eyes are definitely the focus, which is great. And now we're going to just kind of finish up the complexion. So before I powder, I'm just going to let everything sit for a moment and I'm going to do my brows. So as always, I'm going in with my 2 eyeshadows and I'm going to work from the base of my brow, and I'm going to, kind of similar to how I do my liner, I hit the skin and then I pull, just really lightly. Just kind of filling in any gaps in the skin. I think I'm pretty much where I want to be with my hair. I have one more color appointment. And then I think I'll be ready to buy an actual eyebrow pencil instead of mixing the eyeshadows. But the eyeshadows are a really great way to get a nice soft brow. I don't love when brows are too strong. I think it just pulls the attention away from other parts of the face that are much more interesting to look at. So now I'm going to take my fingers, which are totally clean, and I'm just lightly going to pick up any excess that could be around my eye area. Bobbi Brown always says to, at the end, kind of like smush the face, and it just kind of takes up any excess that doesn't really need to be there. Of course, before we powder, we have to do our Lisa Eldridge highlighter. Love it so much. It just gives the skin a beautiful, natural glow. And you could blend this out with fingers too. I've been kind of playing around with that. Or you could use your foundation brush. But I'm going to use this one from MAC, because I think it's just like the perfect one. The perfect one for this product. And if I have any excess, I'll just kind of sweep it up right under the tail end of my brow. Okay, we are now ready to powder and then finish it up with our lip. I'm going to go in with a powder foundation. So if you saw my powder video, you will know that using a powder foundation on top of a liquid foundation, I think, is a little bit bananas. But I'm using a super, super fluffy BK Beauty brush. And I'm very, very lightly tapping that on, because I don't want extra coverage. I just want to take down the shine from the center of my face. I want the skin to look like skin, and then I'm just going to bring this down onto my neck so everything matches. Okay, I'm feeling really good about that. We are going to go in again with Lisa Eldridge Kitten Mischief, which is almost the same color as my lips. Look, I'm running solo. I'm using it all the time. This is like a peachier version of my lips. And I think with the yellow and the blue in the dress, that works really well. But I'm going to add a pop of pink to kind of play into the blue and cool it down just a smidge. Okay, and then it is very, very important that at the end of your makeup application, you zhuzh your hair, because once your hair looks good, then your face looks good. I hope this tutorial on a daytime date makeup look will inspire you to have wonderful daytime dates. Happy anniversary, happy birthday, happy special occasion to anyone out there who's celebrating this week or this month. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. I do beauty videos every Friday and I do fashion videos every Wednesday. Everything will be linked below, and I also have a blog post that accompanies pretty much every single video. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!